Well, gentlemen, when the shit hits the fan, some guys run and some guys stay. Here's Charlie facing the fire, and there's George hiding in Big Daddy's pocket. And what are you doing? You're gonna reward George and destroy Charlie.
Are you finished, Mr. Slade?
No, I'm just getting warmed up. I don't know who went to this place. William Howard Taft, William Jennings Bryan, William Tell, whoever. Their spirit is dead, if they ever had one. It's gone. You're building a rat ship here. A vessel for seagoing snitches. And if you think you're preparing these minnows for manhood, you better think again. Because I say you are killing the very spirit this institution proclaims it instills. What a sham. What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today? I mean, the only class in this act is sitting next to me, and I'm here to tell you, this boy's soul is intact. It's non-negotiable. You know how I know? Someone here, and I'm not gonna say who, offered to buy it. Only Charlie here wasn't selling.
Sir, you're out of order.
Out of order? I show you out of order. You don't know what out of order is, Mr. Trask. I'd show you, but I'm too old. I'm too tired. I'm too fucking blind. If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place. Out of order. Who the hell do you think you're talking to? I've been around, you know. There was a time I could see, and I have seen boys like these, younger than these, their arms torn out, their legs ripped off. But there is nothing like the sight of an amputated spirit. There is no prosthetic for that.
What's poppin', what's poppin'? You see, in life, you want to always stand for something. You always want to stand for something. Even if everybody's going this way or nobody believes in you, stand for something. And let it come from you. Let it be real, authentic. Because I'm keeping 100. Throughout my 20s, I didn't stand for shit. You know? I didn't work on my character. I did it sometimes, but then I just go back to my old ways. But it's very important to work on your character. Before you get the penthouse, before you get the money, before you get the cars, all that shit, build your character first. So if you lost and you broke right now in life, I'm telling you, that's the best position to be in. Because now you got time to build the most important part of you, and that's your character. You never want to be out here scamming. You don't want to be out here lying to chicks. You don't want to be lying to nobody. You want to always keep it 100. And the most important person you don't want to lie to is yourself. You always want to keep 100 with yourself. Every time you look in that mirror, you want to keep it real with yourself. If you don't like the way you look, if you don't like the way you dress, you know, all that shit. But you never want to live in a world when you can't look yourself in the mirror. Because you've been lying to yourself, you've been trying to be somebody else. So building your character, before you get everything you want, it's a must you build your character. Because once you get it, and your character not built, I promise you, you're gonna fuck it up. You're gonna fuck it up because you don't know yourself, you haven't built yourself, you've been acting for years. I'm telling you, your character is so important. You know, you have to learn how to be more honest. Like you have to, like I said again, scam. I'm telling you, man, I done did so much dirt, man. I done lied to so many women. I done lied to myself. I'm telling you, you don't want to go do that shit. You want when you get the spot you want, when you get the car you want, when you get your money, you want your character to be intact. You want to be able to stand up when it's time to stand up. Like, the only reason why I came to YouTube, man, because I'm seeing dudes telling you, oh man, money is very important, go on these dates. Man, look, I can't let that shit happen. because I know how it feels to go on dates and you expecting something and no, you don't get it. And that shit make you frustrated. It's a trick. Like, all this shit is a trick. Work on yourself first. Like, if you a nerd, be a nerd. Like, it's very important that you start being yourself. If you a nerd, be a nerd. You know, if you talk a certain way, if you don't talk proper, man, talk the way you talk. You know, sometimes I stutter, sometimes I talk fast. That's the way I talk. I don't try to talk proper and nah, that's just not me. Don't be that. Be okay with being yourself. Because the more you admit to yourself, the more that you know, the more things you know you need to fix, the easier it gets in life. Because you keep lying to yourself, it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna become worse. In your 20s, your choices are important. The choices you make in your 20s are very important. That's why I say your character, build your character. You know, don't be in a rush to get all these luxury shit and the car that these rappers and man, look, don't be in a rush for that shit. Your character is important. And ironically, when people say, "Oh, your life is your 20s," no. When you hit your 30s, that's when things start to make more sense. So if you got your character built and you hitting your 30s, I'm telling you, life is just beginning. For me, life is just beginning. I'm 32 and my life is just started. I had to fix some things from my 20s, that I fucked up on. I'm still fixing some stuff, but life is just beginning. But the choices you make in your 20s, I promise you, they gonna either come back to bite you or they gonna benefit you. You gotta look at it like this. Your 20s is like the frame of an old school classic car. That frame gotta be right for everything else to be right. That frame is the beginning. And you don't want your frame rusted, bent, and all kind of damage and shit. No, you gonna have to repair it. So just look at your 20s like the frame of a car. You want to make sure that frame is solid. It's solid. When you drive, you want to make sure that car is solid. Your 20s, it has to be solid. You don't want to be going on dates and getting girls drunk and bring them back to your spot. I'm telling you, those days are over. We used to do that, back in the day. It was, but you can't do that shit no more. Don't trip on it. Your time will come. Your time will come. I promise you. And it'll be done right. But those days are over. You always, even in the present, you always want to look ahead and think to yourself, what would my older self do? If I was 32, what would I do? Would I do this? Would this benefit me? And for my guys in your 30s, it's not too late to rebuild your character. If you've been faking this whole time trying to be somebody else to please her, that shit stops. It's nothing like being yourself. The world gonna make you think, oh, you gotta be this way. You gotta be cold. You gotta be, man, look, be yourself. If it's some things you gotta work on for you, do it for you. Don't do it because these guys say you gotta do it. No, be you. Because when you try to act like other people, you disrespecting yourself. Even with your flaws, you disrespecting yourself. And I had to learn that. I'm telling you, my 20s, I tried to be like this person. I tried to be like this person. I tried to dress like A$AP Rocky. Man, look. Now I love leather jackets. And whatever t-shirt I can find that can fit under it, hey, I'm good. I love shades. Like, this is me. This is me. And I try to be like everybody else growing up. And I just don't want you guys to go through that shit because You don't want to be out here having identity crisis as you get older, and you sound like this person, you sound like that person. You don't want to go through that. So build your character. If you broke right now, good. If your car fucked up, good. Now you can take things slow and you can grind. You can put more hours in work. You can put more hours into yourself. You can put more hours into your passion, you know? And that right there is worth more than money, because let me tell you, people say money is everything. I promise you, relationships are everything. You meet the right person and y'all team up and come together and build, it's relationships. So your character have to be right. You know? Your character have to be right. You never want to be lying to yourself, and you never want to look in that mirror and hate what you see. Because you can fool everybody. But at nighttime, it's hard to fool yourself. Let's go.